James E. Chelders was a man who spent most of his adult life drifting between jobs, drinking too much, and getting into trouble around northern West Virginia. People who knew him described him as quiet, unpredictable, and constantly battling alcohol, but nobody expected what he eventually admitted to. In the summer of 2009, Childers mailed a package to the Clarksburg Police Department that would change everything. A thick envelope containing letters, maps, and most disturbingly, a DVD of himself calmly confessing to a string of murders and arsons. On the video, he sat in front of the camera and talked with an almost emotionless tone. He said he wanted to clear his conscience, and then casually explained how he had killed multiple people over several years. He admitted responsibility for at least 5 murders and 4 separate arsons, although he suggested the real number might be higher. Investigators would later say the way he talked implied he was holding back more than he revealed. His calm demeanor on camera contrasted sharply with the horrific crimes he described, leaving investigators both horrified and puzzled about how someone could commit such acts with so little outward emotion. Childers claimed most of his victims were people he knew personally, friends, acquaintances, or people from the same struggling communities he lived in. He tried to justify the killings by saying he believed these people were suffering or involved in things he didn't approve of. Police later called this explanation nothing more than a manipulative excuse to cover the fact that he was a violent and dangerous man. Some of the victims, they noted, were completely unsuspecting, highlighting how Childers had carefully concealed his true nature behind a seemingly ordinary exterior. After receiving the confession package, investigators immediately began searching the areas Childers referenced. Their first major discovery was at his family's property. Buried behind an outbuilding, investigators uncovered the remains of 26-year-old Carrie Lynn Baker, who had gone missing from Clarksburg in the summer of 2008. She had been missing for months, and until then, no one had any idea what had happened to her. According to the state medical examiner, Carrie died from blunt force trauma to the head, suggesting Childers beat her to death. Personal belongings were scattered near the burial site, giving investigators a grim insight into the brutality and carelessness of Childers' actions. A short time later, investigators made a second discovery, this time on a separate property also connected to Childers. There, they found the remains of 45-year-old Carolyn Sue Sourwine, a woman who had known Childers since 2001. They had been friends for years, and some people said she trusted him completely. But Childers admitted to shooting her in the head, ending the life of someone who had believed he was harmless. Her body had been hidden in a shallow grave, left there for months before Childers ever confessed. The discovery shocked the community, as Sourwine had been well-liked and respected, making the revelation of her fate even more disturbing. Even with 2 confirmed victims and his own admissions on video, investigators struggled to piece together the rest of the timeline. Childers mentioned several more killings, hinting at other victims buried in remote areas or destroyed in fires he intentionally set. He spoke in a way that suggested he was naming only the people he felt like acknowledging. Detectives later said that while they believed he committed more murders, there simply wasn't enough evidence left behind to confirm them. Investigators also noted that the fires he set had destroyed potential evidence, making it even harder to fully understand the scope of his crimes. Police tracked Childers to a motel after receiving the confession. When officers arrived, Childers barricaded himself inside the room, refusing to surrender. The standoff lasted for hours, with authorities attempting to negotiate and de-escalate the situation. Ultimately, before officers could take him alive and question him, Childers died by suicide. His death shut the door on any chance of getting direct answers about how many people he killed, why he chose his victims, or how long he had been getting away with it. The motel room was later searched, revealing some of the materials he had used to plan his crimes, and further confirming the premeditation behind his actions. To this day, James E. Childers is remembered as one of West Virginia's most chilling killers, a man who blended into small-town life for years while hiding bodies on property connected to him. His confession gave investigators just enough to confirm 2 murders, but it raised far more questions than it answered. His true victim count may never be known. The sheer audacity and cold calculation of his crimes left a lasting mark on the communities he preyed upon and serves as a reminder of how danger can often hide in plain sight.